Hello Stampers, this is Jeannie Moss, Bluegrass Stamper here in Kentucky. And today I'm going to show you the last project from our Butterfly Brilliance Collection class. We're going to make this acetate box, which is perfect for holding the projects that we've made in this class. The people who ordered the Butterfly Brilliance Collection got a free class from me, and we made all of these projects. So the first one we made was a card with a window sheet. We made what's called a center panel easel card, so this opens and stands up. And we made this book fold card. So those were the cards we made, and then as a bonus project, we made this little decorated box to put the cards in. So the cards all fit perfectly in there. I provided all the cardstock and everything for this class and the acetate box, and I had everything cut for them. What I did ask them to provide was some of their DSP. So they provided all of the DSP that they got in with their collection. I'm gonna turn that over just so that it looks a little nicer in the box. Alrighty, so I had them cut one of their sheets of DSP. So the sheet of DSP, you can get all of these butterflies. Now this DSP is no longer available. So if you were lucky enough to get this, then you could make these projects. If you didn't have this paper, you could stamp and color your butterflies. That's not a problem. The stamp set and the dies are still available. The stamp set is one large stamp. So this could be a background stamp. I recommend you use the Stamparatus when you stamp this because it is so large. Sometimes it's hard to get a really good impression when you've got a stamp that big. If you use the Stamparatus, you would just ink this up and then stamp it, and if your impression had some empty spots, you could re-ink this and you could stamp it again, and it would stamp in the same place, so you could make sure you get a good impression. So you could stamp one of those and color them, and you could make all those projects that we made using those stamped butterflies. So what we did was use the large die. This one die will cut out all of those butterflies at one time, and it cut out all of those butterflies that I just showed you from the paper. Cut all of those out at one time. So it was really cool. I'm really sorry that the paper's gone because I would like to have some more of it. The dies also came with extra dies, and they came with detailed dies. So on the one project that I showed you, the one with the window sheet, we actually took a piece of black and we cut this large butterfly out. And on the back of the window, we put the black butterfly. So that's on the inside of the card. And then our large die cut butterfly is on the outside of the card. So again, you can still get this bundle. The paper is gone, but you can still get the stamps and the dies. So I did ask them to provide DSP or paper for the projects, but I provided the other things. So what we'll do with this is it's really easy. We will just kind of shape our box. And these are in the catalog, and they will hold cards and envelopes. So you could make a nice little gift set for somebody. So you got to get those folds, score lines folded well. So there's our box. Now we have this piece of Just Jade DSP, and it's 2 inches by 11 inches. And I have scored it at 2.5, 3 1/8, 7 5/8, and 8 1/4. Again, that's 2.5, 3 1/8, 7 5/8, and 8 1/4. Excuse me. my voice is about gone. This is my 4th video, and it's probably the most talking I've done in a long time. So we'll fold on all these score lines. And we'll lay our box in there and kind of wrap it around the box. So these last 2 flaps, one of them is longer than the other one. So that'll be the bottom one because we want our seam, excuse me, our seam to be more in the center of the box. So if you have that shorter one on the top, that'll be more in the center of the box. And then these pieces will go over the top of that. So what I did was I asked them to cut their DSP. And so we took this piece of DSP and we cut it into, it's 6 inches, and we cut it at 1 3/4. So that gives us a little 1/8 inch border on either side of that. So what we'll do is we will glue these pieces onto our cardstock. So we're going to start at that piece that's a little bit shorter because we want to be right on the edge of that, because that's going to be our first piece. So you can decide if you want the pinks to be on the back of the box. So you'd put the pink edges together, or you could start with your pinks and have your green edges together on the back of the box, because you will see a seam on the back of the box. So one of my boxes I did the green, and the other box, it was the pink. So it doesn't matter, but match those up together. So you wouldn't want to put the the pink edge right up next to the green edge, so it doesn't blend as well. So, alrighty, so what we'll do is just start gluing this together, and I'm just going to take glue, and I'm not going to get too close to the edges because, you know, the edges are going to be seen. So you don't want to get too close to the edges. You'll start at the end. You'll give it try to center it as much as possible. And then as you work your way up, you want to fold it on those score lines, because you want the paper to adhere nicely to those folds. So kind of fold it, work it as you go, and glue. Then when you've got that side done, all you're going to do is add more glue to the other half. And you will have a little extra paper. Then, like I said, I don't want to start with the green. That's too harsh of a break there. So I want to put the pink against that. And then work your way around, gluing this as you go. And then when you get to the end, you can actually just cut this piece off. All right, so now we are ready to put this on our box. So we would just lay our box in the center. Again, you want to line it up so that the seam is as close to the center, whichever way that works. And then we'll just put some glue, and we'll just glue those together, line them up and glue them together. And you may need to hold it for a little while because, you know, there is a little stress on this piece. So I like to put the belly bands around this way so that it doesn't interfere with opening the box. That way you don't have to take it off to open the box. Some people will put it around and then you have to slide it off, which is okay. But this way you can just open the box without worrying about that. I have the white oval. This is from the Stitched Shapes, which is on the retirement list. And these are this is a scalloped oval, which also is on the retirement list. So if you need any of those, you should snap those up pretty quick. I'm going to use a stamp that is from the Quite Curvy set. And it's this stamp that says "Made with Love, just for you," because I thought this would be a nice gift. And it's a photopolymer stamp, so I'm going to pull out my foam pad. And I'm going to stamp this as close up to the edge as I can, because I've got that, I'm using the, excuse me, the green butterfly, and it's a pretty good size butterfly. So like I said, I'm going to put this pretty much up to the top. And now I have a place for this butterfly to live. And if you've watched the other 3 videos, you've seen me do this already. But I wanted to give some lift to the wings on the butterfly. So what I did was just took my ruler and laid it down next to the butterfly's body. And then just fold the wings back and give them a burnish with your finger. And then turn the butterfly around and do the same thing on the other side. And what this does is it creates a little flat bottom to your butterfly, and that's where you can put your adhesive. So we'll put some glue on that. We'll decide just where we want him, and we'll stick him down. And then I thought it needed just a little bit more of something. So I used some bling. I used some of our basic rhinestones. And I actually colored the rhinestones with the Stampin' Blends. These are alcohol markers. And I like to use the fine point end because it's a hard, like a marker tip end. And the other end is more of a brush tip. So I like to use the small one, which is the hard end, and color the rhinestones, which I've already done. And I'll just, you can see how easy it is. You just give them some color. And then I'm going to put the rhinestones on. And I like to use groups of 3. It just gives, to me, a more pleasing effect than using even numbered amounts. So there's the rhinestones. We'll put some glue on the back of this and put it on our oval. And actually, I could have done that before I should have done that before I stamped and or embellished it and everything. So I'll be putting that onto there. Using the glue is forgiving. You can move it around a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of it. And I only want the dimensionals to be on, I don't want to be able to see the dimensionals anywhere. So I'll just be putting them like 4 towards the center of this. So this is ready to go on our box. And then I like to use Wink of Stella. This, if you haven't used Wink of Stella, this is a clear fluid that has sparkle in it. So I like to sparkle up those butterflies. And I've done that with all of the butterflies in this whole set of creations, this whole class. We've used a lot of Wink of Stella. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it just puts some shiny on the butterfly, and I'll hold it up and move it. I don't know if you're getting a glimpse of that or not. So this is our box. So again, we've made 4 projects. We made 3 cards and a bonus project. Every one of our cards was something more than just a basic card. We had the first one, which was the window card. Get some of this out of the way. So this was our first card. I did a thank you. I did some that were birthday. So it had the window, and you can catch those videos too. I did each project on a separate video so it wouldn't be so long. This was the book fold card. And this was that center panel easel card. And so all of these cards were done with the Butterfly Brilliance collection. And this, like I said, this was a free class if you purchased that from me. So, hope you enjoyed these projects. If you need anything, let me know. My email is bluegrassstamper@gmail.com. My website is www.bluegrassstamper.com. And you can find me at either one of those places. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the projects. Bye.